Commander Stahl, hailing frequencies are open.
This is Steve Harry Harris and the HarrisFilm Crew. You're watching HarrisFilm Non-Trek Reviews. Without further ado, here's the HarrisFilm Crew.
Roy Ivey, Matt Arnold, Ken Mays, and Chef Mark Ferguson. Hi, Mark.
Hello.
Oh, it looks good. Steven.
Are you guys familiar with a director called Robert Rodrigues?
Nope.
The name sounds familiar.
It should. El Mariachi? Have you ever heard of the film El Mariachi?
The dancer?
So.
Okay. Back when he just finished film school or whatever, when he was starting to do films, he produced his own little movies like I used to do on the Super 8. And on the release of El Mariachi, the first time they released it on video, this film was included after the film was over. Okay? So he gave us a preview to his style and what led up to his guerrilla filmmaking used in El Mariachi. All right? So, for your viewing pleasure, I now introduce you to Bedhead. I love that hand animation.
Idiot.
And that's just the opening.
Rebecca? Rebecca, do you feel alive? You don't feel strange in any way? Okay, hold on. Visiting hours are over.
That's my brother David. He must have left his Nintendo long enough to see how I'm doing. Typical. Hello, my name is Rebecca, and I've learned a powerful lesson today. It started out like a typical Saturday morning. I was eating breakfast cereal with my sister, Mari Carmen. She's a fashion monster. I swear she won't do anything unless she's decked out in an evening gown, high heel shoes, and a pound of mom's makeup. I remember when I was that age. And then there's David. Boy, was I gypped when God was handing out brothers. Unwashed, uncivilized, and with the worst case of bedhead you've ever seen.
I like the cereal.
Look at her hair.
Right. He's a pig.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish we could sell David to the Arabs who could buy new dolls. We missed up all our other ones.
Yeah.
He is a mess.
He's going to eat it. He's not paying attention to what he's doing.
Oh, he look at her.
Typical.
Now, are you wondering why she's in the hospital yet?
Yeah.
A flashback.
Later on that day, I went outside to play with my doll, the only one I managed to hide from David.
He's a holy terror.
Oh, I remember those.
Uh-oh.
And like, come on.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
She could be dead.
Maybe she's sleeping.
I'm not sure how long I was out, but when I woke up, I remember feeling funny. Not funny, ha ha, but funny weird. When I saw the blood, I remember thinking, I could really use a band-aid right now.
Her injury is, oh, Band-Aid. Yeah.
Huh? Now if only I could stop the bleeding?
Not gonna stop the bleeding.
David wanted forgiveness, but there was no way I was gonna forgive him unless he was kissing my feet. Wait a second. Throw your head against the pole.
Sorry,
Fall on your face. Convulse.
Oh my goodness.
At this point, I realized I had the power to do anything I wanted. I could bring
He's the
peace,
one that ate the roach.
become the first Mexican-American female president of the United States. But first things first. And the first thing I'm gonna do is get rid of that bedhead.
That's what happened to it.
Yep.
I realize now that I was kind of losing it at that point. I was out of control, a complete demento. I'm not sure if it was the fall or just the awesome surge of
Look
my
at that
powers
leg.
that, caused me to go nutso. Looking back now, I guess it wasn't such a swell idea to tie David to my bicycle and keep him around at 90 miles per hour. But that bedhead was going down,
Oh,
no
my
matter
poor kid.
what. He must have gotten caught or something,
Ooh, that hurt.
because before I knew it, I was flying through the air again.
And hit her head
I
again.
don't remember much more after that. And here I am, a little bruised, a little shaken, with a headache.
Lost your
It was
power,
the first
though.
fall that made me go psycho, because the second fall cleared it all up. I'm a straight thinking kid again.
Oh, she
As
did.
for my powers, I've learned that responsibility should be applied with them,
Oh,
and I'll
no.
never abuse them like I did today, ever again. Of that, I'm sure. But David, he'll never be sure.
Now that's good.
Oh, yeah. Telekinetic ability.
His brother David helped write it.
He helped write it.
Yeah. And see, it's a full family affair here.
Mm-hmm.
He had the full backing of his entire family to do this film and release it after he became famous.
Mm-hmm. You know, there's a Rodrigues now that created the the kids movie. I can't remember the name of it now. That's bad.
Copyright 1980. Is that 80 or 90?
It looks like
Robert
90.
Rodrigues.
1990.
Okay.
Oh,
Just
Wasn't
put
that
in there,
cool?
no kids were hurt in this film.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how her brother died.
This particular film should be used in film school as an example of how to make a film, because it's got all of the elements that you expect from a normal film. Okay, you got your close-ups, your extreme close-ups, medium shots, long shots, intercuts, and the creative way that they switched from the dummy to the real person being dragged behind the bicycle, that kind of thing. A lot of it was filmed backwards and then run forwards so that it looked weird in the first place and nobody got hurt. Like when David was pushed up against the pole, that was backwards. Okay. So this is the kind of thing that we did when I was in school. And I am very happy to share it with you guys and glad that he put that online. Robert Rodrigues is one of my heroes, one of my film heroes. Okay. So what do you think of there, Roy?
I'm not really familiar with Mr. Rodriguez. I've heard the name, and it looked good. Whatever else, and I don't know why it was called Bedhead.
Because David's hair was never tamed; it was always messy. So she called him Bedhead because it's like you sleep all night and then you get up and don't comb your hair.
Okay, well, it just didn't have anything to do with the show. Okay,
No, it was just his nickname.
that was just his nickname. Okay, all right.
Bedhead.
Yeah.
I thought that the roaches would have had more to do with the story, but I expected him to be the mutant.
Yeah.
Something, Roach Man or whatever else, or develop mental powers like the sister apparently did.
So how's that for a twist?
that kind of surprised me, and she actually should have been thankful, that he gave her powers, whatever else. And that looked like a pretty good crack. There was enough blood there that
He should have died.
they should have went to the hospital, because that was not a. I'm afraid you might have found some gray matter in the back of her head, if that was
Right.
From that kind of.
No, thinking about it hurts.
So yeah, I thought it was a very interesting film, and as you pointed out, those tricks. I was wondering about how they did the dragging body thing. It was like,
Yeah, it was looking pretty good.
Drag somebody that big.
Yeah.
On the ground, you could never get enough speed or power. There's no way you could do that with the bicycle.
Yeah, they speeded it up a little bit, and
But I'm glad you pointed it out, and the backward film.
right.
But when you had to cut the frames to run that in reverse, or how would you do that?
What you do? This is a little trick that we learned in film school. Is that you would actually turn the camera upside down.
Okay.
And then film the thing you're going to film. Okay. I know this sounds crazy. It doesn't make any sense, but bear with me. Okay. When you get the film back and in editing, you see the part that's upside down, you cut those parts and then you reverse it because it's upside down. When you flip it right side up, it runs backwards.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would never think that would have worked. I would have thought you would have to cut it out frame by frame and put this over here. But that's.
I mean, you can't do it with a video camera. Okay, it just don't work that way. But see, because number one, the rest of your film is right side up. So when you see the upside down part and then you cut it and you flip it over, the emulsion is different. So the editor knows that it was filmed upside down. even if he sees it already cut together. He knows that by the emulsion.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a neat little trick.
Yeah. Learn
So
something every day. Good. That's very-
I got a million tricks, but they all work in Super 8.
Oh, it's the Harris maneuver. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. The Harris maneuver. That's just the way it is, you know. Old school has to learn new school to keep going. So, what do you think, Matt? Did you
At
enjoy
first,
the
I didn't
film?
think I was going to like it, but it was for what they did in the time in 1990 when it was created.
Well,
I
that's
think
when it
they
was
did a good
released.
job.
Yeah, it was done in the 80s.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Even though it looks more like the 60s to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, the creative this for what they did with it was very creative. The storyline was creative. She had an accident, gave her telekinetic abilities.
Right.
All right, and from what I've seen, her brother tortured her all the time.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So she was thinking in her head, payback's a pain. So she paid him back.
Right.
From all of what the old dragging that poor kid around with a bicycle, and turn around, slam him against a pole with a telecom. It's lucky it didn't kill him.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't die.
And then mess his hair up too.
She fixed
Even
it.
more. Then when she hit her head the second time, then he probably thought maybe she lost her power.
Right.
And he went to the hospital. He was there, and when she turned around, when she got up and moved that
Glass.
moved that,
Yeah.
see how
It freaked him out.
Room.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the quality though. See, okay. First of all, I believe the reason that he did it in black and white was a cost-saving maneuver. Okay, black and white film cost about half of what color film costs at the time. And if you want to do a lot of shooting, that's the way to go. Also, he probably wanted to make it so that it wasn't so shocking with the blood and color that the family wouldn't let him show it to the other family members. That's the way my
one thing about that too. That film, his whole entire family had a part in it.
Seems that way.
The support that they had. I don't know which one really done it. The girl or the boy or the.
Robert was the guy behind the camera. So
right, they all did that little film together as a family, and that's what it made it interesting, and the creative of the film. I give him 2 thumbs up, and from scale 1 to 10, I give it 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 sounds good. Kent, what do you say?
I'd give it a 10 out of 10 just for the creativeness alone.
So what'd you think of can you point out any specific thing that really grabbed your attention?
Well, like I said, it had that old vibe of home movies.
Yes.
But at the same time, it was like a professional filmmaker had edited it all together.
There you go.
So
yeah, like it was a normal short that you would see at a film festival.
Yeah. And it was very well done, very well acted too.
Yes.
I mean, especially considering the ages of the actors.
And also consider that
acting. Really?
Yeah.
Good.
Now the acting was fantastic, especially for their ages. But on top of all of that, this was a silent film, guys. This was a silent film. It was filmed a Super 8 silent film. They did the sound later, and I'm almost positive they did a Spanish soundtrack first, and then they did the English one. Okay, that's just normal. So if you speak Spanish at home, you're going to do things in Spanish first. If you speak English at home and you've got Spanish people that you're going to have an audience with, you're going to do the dubbing of that second. That's just life. That's real life. And I admire Robert Rodrigues for not only knowing what his audience wants, fulfilling it in at least 2 languages on his own before he became famous. Okay, you see what I'm saying? He had a limited budget. This was just a home movie. It was him doing what we're doing, amateur filmmaking.
Robert Rodrigues is also the creator of Spy Kids.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking about a while ago. I knew the name was familiar, and he's the original creator of Spy Kids, you know.
Yep.
And look at from what the film that he did back then and what he does now is a big difference. He did for that. If that was one of his first films,
right?
I tell you what, it was really good for what he did.
I mean, it was cut perfectly. The sound, even though it was done after the fact, the sound was perfect. I can't say anything bad about the film. I don't know why. I cannot find anything wrong with this film at all.
I liked it.
What do you say, Mark?
Well, in between cooking and watching, I still thought it was really cool. It kind of reminds me of when I was a kid. And it's kind of like the Leave It to Beaver type era of black and white.
Oh, yeah. Sort of a throwback to that.
Yeah, kind of. I thought, well, I wonder if this is in Salem, Oregon by chance.
I'm pretty sure it was in Mexico.
I have a friend of mine. I don't know if I'll mention my name or not. I put it in our comments. I went to school with, and he was really into Super 8 film, and he had a little matte box, and he filmed a section at a time. And I had a 1969 Cougar, and we filmed it in black and white of cars. We were racing cars down the road like that. Then it would switch to the matte box, and different things were going on. So it automatically made me think of being back in high school and having some experience doing some filming and have some fun. And it just looks like it was all about the girl, of course, but and the mischievous guy, but it was very pleasing. It was very nice.
So if we were actually doing a review on this, what would you rate it?
Just for argument's sake, I would give it probably a 10 out of 10.
You had to think about it, huh?
I had to think about that. It was, I mean, you could walk into it in the first 2 minutes and it grabs you. You know what's going on. You know something's up.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the part about the bug though. I was wondering.
It's him being gross.
Yeah, but that was kind of cool. I like that.
That was just a little added, feature for you to enjoy. I get a feeling that Robert had read the book Firestarter. Before the film came out.
The one thing about Robert now, he has a nickname called the Wizard.
The Wizard. I wonder why.
Yeah. And
that's what I'm saying.
If you want to know more about Robert Rodrigues, go to IMDb database,
right,
and do a search for his name, or just do a search for Spy Kids, and you'll find that, and with his name, and it will go down through the year he was born, birth name,
film list, and everything.
Biography of the guy.
Right.
You want to know anything about him? It's on there.
On IMDb. Yep.
That was great.
Well, Robert, if you're watching this, we love you, man. And I admire you as a fellow filmmaker in the first place. So,
I enjoy his films, all of them.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing that with us. I enjoy all your movies, and I wish you the best in the future. That's it for tonight from HarrisFilm Productions. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
eyes are closed. Transmission complete.
All right. Okay, we're going to probably need to take a break for a minute. My dogs have to go potty. Let's do 10 minutes then. Okay? All right.
Okay, I vote for 9 to 11.
You're getting 10 to 12, man.
Okay.